almost a perfect product from Mechanic Sherlock 2.0. It's a multimeter with multiple display. Particularly the interesting part is the display on the probe themselves. You got your Fluke probe, and sadly nobody's come up with the idea, and I have been thinking about this for a while, and what do you know, somebody's already bought them out. Absolutely awesome. So let's quickly unbox this, and then I'll go through some of the function it has. Okay, so first thing first is we got a user manual. Let's see if it's English or just Chinese. Yes, it's written in English. Okay, and yep, couple of spare probes. They're usually screwed in. Okay, so let's put these. The masterpiece, the unit itself with the display, and the two hand pieces with display also, and they've already attached two probes, which is brilliant. Two spares and two with the unit. A set of crocodile clip with banana clips at the end, and these are used to power other devices through these ports on the side. We'll probably talk about this realistically, there's nothing much to talk about, but I'll go through it. Okay, let me put this box, and on the back of the box it shows this. If you can read it. Product name SPY 2.0, specification resolution 25,000 words. That's 4.5 a bit. That's not relevant. Range is up to 24 volt DC. Then measurements range PN junction. That's the 0.000-1.9999. Measurement accuracy is 0.1%, which is fine. That's brilliant. External power supply 5 volts, so that's for the charging he's talking about, and the battery capacity is 900 milliamp per hour. Okay, so wow, this is just absolutely mind-blowing what they've done. Like I said, it's perfect, but not yet. All right, maybe on the next revision that they will sort of deal with that. Okay, so by look of it, it's metal, all metal, little non-slip pad at the back. Okay, your probes coming out from the right, and on here this is your Type-C charging port, and those are to power external devices up to 3.2 volt or up to 3 volt, but it's 3.2 volt according to the multimeter, and I'll do that check for you now. Okay, so but before doing so, let's power on the device. Okay, you ready for this? Let's get these beautiful displays, probes in hand. Are you ready? Voila! Yep. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Right, okay. So I was going to show you what the voltages are out from these two ports, and let's show you what the voltage is. 3.289. There you go. 3.289. That's the voltage. What you see. Okay. Going to put those away. Let's get cracking on with this. This is interesting, very interesting. Okay, so your on and off button on the top, and this is where you toggle off your range between diode and voltage mode. And when I say to you that it's almost perfect, sadly this doesn't have the ohm range, so I'm hopeful that on the next version that they will sort of add that onto it. I'm not quite sure why they've done that. Maybe if you're Mechanic, if you're looking into looking at this video, please let me know so I can update my videos, or I can put some notes on the top of the video. But as it is, absolutely cracking. The display is very clear. Even the handpieces are much clearer than the main display. These are much clearer. Okay, Sadly, the camera I've got is not doing the justice, but that's that. Okay, so you toggle between open, that's on a diode mode. Okay, and when you click onto this, that's where it says U, that's on the voltage mode. Now on the hand pieces, you can actually see the symbols. That means V, obviously voltage plus and minus, you'll see that, and if you click onto that, then it switches over to diode mode. Okay. There's one thing I did discover. If you hold on to this, let's just have a look. It beeps, and what it does is it turns the so if you're left-handed or right-handed, it sort of rotates the screen. So watch this. I'm going to hold it for a moment. See? So you hold it for a few seconds. That's what happens. Right. So let's demonstrate why I got this and why I find it quite exciting to use this. Obviously it's very portable, very small. I like it, fits in the mat as well, and obviously you can leave it anywhere, that's not a big issue that. So let's grab a motherboard, and start probing around that board in terms of the I'm going to do it on voltage diode mode, so it is on diode mode at the moment, but before doing so, let's unpack this. All right, so I can have a bit more thinking in terms of the length of the cable. I think it's about 50 centimeter. Yeah, easily a 50 centimeter length, so that is plenty of length. You know, it's not overly excessive like the Fluke. That's probably about 0.75 meter, but I kind of like the length. How sharp are these? They're sharp enough, but not needle like sharp, these things. So it's, you know, you're not going to poke, you know. It's flat, the tips are flattened, so that's, you know, that's really good. Okay, so let's run a diode mode measurements on this board, and we'll sort of see. So red probe on the ground. As I said, if you're in a left or a right, or you feel that the orientation isn't right for yourself, that's perfectly fine. Just hold on to that button and switch over. Okay, let's see if I can get it any lower than this. All right, here we go. So let's go onto this coil on a 5-volt coil. So I'm getting reading of 0.13. Okay, let's do another. Yep. All right, that's giving me a 0.3. So you get the idea. I'm just probing around. I'm not going to. All right, so that's directly to the ground. Is there anything else I can probe around? Okay, so let's have a look. Keep this. All right. So that's that. In terms of voltage, what I'm going to do is I'm going to test this. So click again, go into the voltage mode, and I'm just going to sort of measure the voltage on this. So when you switch, either way, one will be in this orientation, sadly. Okay, when you're holding the probe upside down, but the left hand side, at least the one that's held against the board, will be. So you're not sort of, you know, it's not going to be too much of a problem. So that's 2.73 volt DC. That's on the voltage mode. I am going to check the accuracy with the Fluke just to compare that. But as I said before, the main reason is that when I'm sort of working on this boards and things like the measuring voltage or diode mode or even ohm measurements, sadly this doesn't have. I'm constantly sort of moving my neck this way, back, like this. So you're taking the measurements, you hold the probe in place, and you're just looking at this way. Sometimes the pins are so narrow, so you know the pitches on the pins are very close that you can very easily jump. So I could be under the microscope, and I'm you know from the left hand side, and I'm looking at the right hand side to see what the measurements are. So when you've got something like this where you can take a measurement there and then, you know, it's absolutely cracking idea. You know, I'm giving 9 out of 10 just because that they're missing out the the ohms range on it, but I'm hopeful that they'll sort of add that on as I repeat. So you get the idea. Look, I mean, you can just quickly go over areas that you want to see, whatever that you're expecting. All right, so it's beeping as well. It's a nice clear beep. Ground. Okay, the probe does feel strong, but obviously time will tell. It does feel heavy and strong. Okay, so in terms of the accuracy, okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to compare it with the Fluke. So let me bring this Fluke here. Obviously the Fluke is probably, Fluke is probably almost 6 times, 7 times dearer than this unit. So we will see. So let's see. Let's turn the Fluke on. All right, let me get these on. All right, and just measure this voltage. Right, okay. I might use the bench power supply because I'll ramp it up to about 20 volt and see how accurate it is. So it's 2.732. You can't see this. I am so sorry. Leave it there. 2.732. Okay, let's see what we get on that. Oops, wrong side. Yep. 2.731. That's very close. You know, this was about a good part of 60 quid. 60 odd quid. I'd say about 60, 65 quid. Okay, this is in the region of £400 plus, right? So when you look at the, when you're comparing, the readings are virtually the same, right? So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to switch over. Let's see, one other thing I'd like to try out is the diode mode reading on it. So let's take a measurements on the diode mode. I'm going to take these off, these little probes off. Okay, so let's from one probe on the ground. So I'm getting 0, 1, 2, 4, 0, 1, 2, 4. That's going to be. That's also going to do the same thing. Let me find another pack. 0.163. So let's just keep 124, 124, 163. Okay, so let's measure. Let's do a measurement on this, on the diode mode as well. Okay, see what we get. Ground. Yeah. 128. 128. 169. So it's slightly out. It's not massively that's going to be concerning. It's slightly, but very, very negligible. I wouldn't even say that is out really. Now let's check the voltage. So I'm going to turn on my bench power supply. Okay, and let's power that on and see. I can go up to 24 volts. So I'm going to limit myself to about 24 volts. That's fine. So we will go up. Let's move some of this stuff here. Okay, let's get shut off. I've got a lot of stuff here actually that I need to deal with. So there's your bench power supply. Yes, I know it's a bit messy. Not messy, it's just I've got so much stuff around me. Okay, so I haven't got a probe for me to sort of how should I put it? I might be able to put the Fluke probe in there actually together. So let's just see what's going on. Let me just see. Yeah, should be able to. All right. So sadly, you won't be able to see those probes with the voltage on, but this is about how accurate this is. Right. So let's move this board out of the way. I think we're done with this board now. Let's have a look at the measurements. So I'm going to bring this over here, and I'm going to bring the Fluke as well here, right? And I'm hopefully you can see the Fluke, maybe not, because of the glare from the light. Let's get shut of these little gadgets off the bench. So there you have it. you can see this, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ramp up the voltage gently. All right, see how accurate that's. I'm going to do, let's say 5. We'll do it in. Let's go back. So that's 5 volt. All right. Let's go to 10 volt. Let that stabilize. Okay, so it's not massively out, but obviously Fluke is bang on. Now remember, that's a very expensive unit. 12 volt, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That's it. So your limit is 24 volt. That's what it's set on now. Even if you put 32 volt, it's not going to pop the thing, you know. So let's just 24 volt. So yeah, it's very accurate, because if you look at Fluke is at 23.99. This is at 23.97 or 98. It's fluctuating between the two. I think I'm very impressed with it. You know, considering how cool these little displays are. Absolutely amazing. For what it's worth, if it was 100, 150 quid, you know, maybe not, but I still think it's a cool gadget to have, especially with the, you know, the displays on the probe. I think it's a very well and a clever design. Nobody on the market that I can think of in the electronic, you know, the mainstream of electronic industry has done this actually. So I've got to give them heads up. I have been thinking about, you know, this type of product being on the market, and I've not come across it anything up until now. So the only plea I have to Mechanic is, well, you know, get the ohms range on it, and you have a bulletproof product here that nobody's been able to bring out. So I think you guys have nailed it, you know. Unless I'm missing something, I don't know. I haven't come across with anything like this. I've got a Agilent multimeter with a mobile app that I used to use in the past, and I leave the mobile on the side, and that sort of does the talking or does the display, so I don't have to look away from the board to the multimeter. So yes, absolutely cracking. Got it off the internet, AliExpress, and the seller was very reluctant. Had it in matter of 5 days from China. Absolutely baffled how quickly it came. So I did sort of rang him, you know, sent him a nice little message to say, well, thank you very much, appreciate you sending it so quickly. So there you go, guys. Hands up. I have to sort of say this is a product to have if you're an enthusiast, if you've got if you're working with electronics, laptop boards, MacBook, whatever it is, providing that your voltage threshold is not above 24 volt DC, it's a cool gadget to have. Sadly, the limitation is set to 24 volt DC. I wish they can remove that, as well as the ohm range being introduced on the next revision. So that's all, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave your comments below if you've got any questions, and all the best. Peace.